room. And this next, some people would ask Mr. Fuller about his wife and his family. And it's like, wait a minute, you this guy that's out here writing code books and well, what does she think about all this? So let's get his take on how his family.
Fuller, can you briefly talk about when you found your partner and you got married? Was this before or after you came up with the compensatory concept? And how did that work out, considering that you had to find a wife who was in the same mindset of you? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Luke. Mr. Fuller?
Oh, at the time that I did it, I didn't even consider that. But she grew into it by being around me. We hadn't even discussed it. In fact, a whole lot of things weren't even discussed. These are ideas I came up with after I got into the arrangement.
Okay.
And you know, everything that's in the code book came after that, for the most part. I mean, other than most of the seeds of the idea and a whole lot of scattered notes. I didn't even have a book when I hooked up with her.
Yes, sir. Okay.
My book came out in 1984. That arrangement was made in the 1950s.
Oh, okay.
Me and her. All right.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Luke, from the Bronx.
As Fuller said, he was like a package deal. She may have just grown into it because he met her before he actually wrote the book. I have a personal story about Mr. Fuller's wife. I met with Mr. Fuller's son, Mark, over the weekend. And we have this story. I used to have a radio show on Radio 1, and one of my most loyal listeners was Mr. Fuller's wife. And she was a regular listener. I mean, I didn't even know. I knew about Mr. Fuller, but I definitely was not working with them. And Mark was telling me that his mom used to listen to the show. And she said, she came up to Mark one day and said, look, there's this guy, Gate. You need to talk to this guy. This guy can help you guys, what you're trying to do. And it also talks about how when you, like Mr. Fuller say, the way you're already going. And he said that his mom would come back to him every week or so and say, have you called this guy Gate yet? Because he can really help you guys. And so Mark said he finally picked up the phone one day. And we met, and things just started to happen. He even said, Mr. Fuller, Mark's dad, said that he said my involvement in them reminded him of Martin Luther King and this white Jewish guy who was put in place to kind of help propel his movement. So sometimes your calling and your alignment, your purpose, things are lined up for a reason. I did not go out seeking to be involved with Mr. Fuller, but the stage was already set. So Miss Fuller, Mr. Fuller's wife, she's responsible for my being really sitting here today, sharing this information and introducing me to this great man, Mr. Neely Fuller and the Fuller family. Mr. Bobby.
Yeah, I can concur, with that because Fuller selected me also, because before then I had done sports broadcasting. I was a play-by-play announcer here in the Central Ohio area, and matter of fact, I was to get an interview with Mr. Kahari Inaharo, who recognized some talent within me that I didn't even know what was in myself. And Fuller was on the platform that he had, which was talktainmentradio.com, radio the way it should be heard. Anyway, got me on there, and and then the program that I had was Talking Sports with Mr. Bobby, and we talked all kind of sports. I didn't even have a computer like I had now, but they had all the stuff arranged for me. Anyway, he had different co-hosts, and some of them were just tremendously good. Never did I think for one moment that I would be on with Mr. Fuller, but as things happened, the progression of time, he and I were no longer with that station, and then he reached out to me, and here I am today, right here, and I am the blessed for it because, as you know, Gate, we have a worldwide platform, and I'm still learning also. And one thing that I learned from Mr. Fuller is to be truthful, which when I was going to Ohio State University and Columbus State here in Ohio, in journalism is to tell the truth. Now, people don't have to believe you, but you have to follow a journalistic protocol. And when I got with Fuller, tell the truth. And as you can see right now, the usual suspects are twisting stuff or fixing it so that they are deleting or don't want us to know, but know what is truthful or add in confusion. But I'm still with that. Part of that journalistic thing is with me to tell the truth. And then, as Fuller indicated, no matter what you do, be intentional about it and tell the truth. The truth may hurt, but the truth also heals. Gate?
All right, we're going to get some people up here. I saw you were there. You disappeared. Come back, and we'll put you on. Bill, if you're ready, go ahead and connect your device. While you get ready, I'm going to bring up Jesse. Jesse, welcome to the stage. You're on the Neely Fuller's Counter Racist Code show. Welcome to the stage.
Yes, Grand Rising.
Grand Rising.
I'm still learning like the rest of us. I just want to say R.I.P. to Neely Fuller Jr. Yes, you're right. He did tell us to tell the truth and tell it bold, tell it as much as possible. And we are in a time where the truth is being distorted. And people that told nothing but lies on our people are being exalted and lifted up. And we have to continue to tell the truth, no matter who doesn't like it. And we are in the refinement stage of racism and white supremacy, which is the sum total of all speech and or action by those white people who practice racism in a manner that improves or refines the methods that helps to make the practice of racism more efficient and or more acceptable to their victims of the non-white people. So we need to continue to fight for justice, guaranteeing that nobody's mistreated, and those that need the most constructive help get it in a constructive manner in all 9 areas of human activity, which is economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, the area that I work in, religion, sex, and war. And as victims of racism and white supremacy, we need to make that our active daily mission.
Wow. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. And you've been on I think you came on one time before. You say that you're a follower of Mr. Fuller.
Yes,
You're
I
in
am.
the area of politics. And so just hang in there, brother. We're going to keep Mr. Fuller's legacy going. Many people, sometimes when a leader leaves us, sometimes their memories and dreams and mission go with them. That's not going to be the case here. And we appreciate people like you helping us keep this memory alive. Let's get Bill on the stage. Bill, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Still learning here, still learning. Yes, I just wanted to share some things that Mr. Fuller had told me. He told me that he never, ever drank alcohol or used illicit drugs.
Okay.
Didn't smoke. He said that he never missed a day of school. And never was late. I would like you to get Mark to, address some of those sometimes, but there were several things that when he would say it to me, oftentimes I couldn't believe it.
Right.
And he used to talk about how he lived on the divided side of town, and all of his father's businesses were near the railroad track, and they were on the black side of town. And he talked about how many times while he was in front of his father's businesses, he got propositioned by white people who could come to the black side of town, and he would be asking him to find him a woman to have sex with. He was saying how that was a regular occurrence, and he said this happened to him as a young man, 10 to 12 years old. He also talked about how he used to be getting ready to go to church and could look across the train track and see the white people in their churches, and he would think, how, why are they in separate churches, and there were just several stories that we got to get. We would often talk to him before and after the Welsing Institute, and when traveling to presentations with him, and it was just interesting for him to talk, about his life. He always had a story about being useful and productive. He talked about a guy who worked for his father, and he used to say, "Why do you keep him around?" He said, he comes in drunk sometimes, and he's always making mistakes. And he said he Fuller had a litany of problems with the person, and he said that his father says, "Well, he's always here. He tells me the truth, and he doesn't steal." And
That's a good resume.
And that was interesting, and he said, and that's where he got a lot of that, trying to looking at other people but judging what's productive, and he said that the guy. Go ahead.
Mr. Bobby trying to get in here. And we have a couple other folks hanging on there. So hang on there. We're going to try to get a couple other people on. So hang on there, Bill. Don't go away. Mr. Bobby.
That person he was talking about was Jalopy. And if you could find that tape, Gate, put that on so everybody can know the story about Jalopy that Bill was talking about. Quickly, just shout out to Aaron Linton from Spain, LS, Mac 285, Twin Pyramid, and Shay Nukara, if I said it correctly. And just got in was Raymond Tarpley. We don't have time to mention everything that was being said. Cloud, Neely Fuller, Francis Amos. There's so many people in the chat room, but we just wanted to acknowledge that. Gate?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bobby. What we are going to do is put up, we have Joe in the room. We have A in the room. Joe, welcome to Neely Fuller's Counter Racist Code Show. Your remarks, please. Unmute yourself there, Joe. Okay, like we lost Joe. Let's go with A.
Morning or good afternoon. This is Aaron from Spain, and
Aaron
I'm
from
a
Spain.
long-term listener of the show, and I'm very familiar with Mr. Bobby. We've had many calls. I would just like to say, my condolences to the Fuller family, and I would like people to know that Mr. Fuller has touched the hearts of many people. He created this piece of work which is going to be instrumental for hundreds of years in the future beyond us and our generations. And I would like to also let you know that he's personally helped me. His information's saved my life. I don't say that very lightly, I should say. And I think it is very important that you have this show. The reason being, without getting into anything controversial, we don't want any detractors, regardless of what their physical characters are, to dilute the message or twist the information. And it's important for the listeners to also know that Mr. Fuller, when he was with us, he did tell us that It's about the code. It's not about him. Although we are honoring him because he touched our lives, it's not a cult. It's about creating a meaningful solution to end racism on planet Earth and beyond. And I also want to thank Mr. Gate and Mr. West for all the hard work and effort that you do. I know sometimes you get some trolls in the chat room, and I don't think that you're trying to dishonor or try to do anything left of what Mr. Fuller was doing. And that's just my part. Just really want to express, like, when Mr. Fuller died, I felt like I lost a friend, because it wasn't just like I'm listening to this, and it's helped me understand who I am as a non-white person or universal man. That's my little bit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. We're going to play one more. We're going to play a couple of moments. We're going to run over just a little bit today. I think this is important because this is the first anniversary of Mr. Fuller's life that we have observed since he passed on February 1st of this year. So we're going to take a couple of more minutes and just get in some more calls and a few more comments on Mr. Fuller. Now, many people ask Mr. Fuller, what was his inspiration? What made him, when he's writing the books, where did he get his inspiration from? Well, he spoke on this, and the inspiration was a surprise many people. Let's find out what Mr. Fuller's inspiration was when he talked about this.
If you can remember any artist that you've enjoyed listening to, who you feel like made counter-racist entertainment.
Yeah. That's an excellent question. Have I heard anybody or anything that helps me to think constructively? Yes. I've heard birds sing. And I've gotten constructive ideas about what to put in the book. Sometimes the sound of a waterfall. And I've been next to waterfalls. And I think about things that are constructive. And sometimes I don't think about anything much at all, which means I'm not thinking constructively. So sometimes even what is music, I can hear the same thing later on, and it's noise. Why? Because it doesn't help me to think constructively. I'm not thinking about anything constructive. So in answer to the question, there's just two types of sound. And you can tell the difference between one sound and another. Like I have written some of the best things that I have in the code book while listening to one of my favorite recordings, which is Frank Sinatra and a person named Joe Bean. I can listen to that record and write code very well. And there are other records that I don't listen to anymore because they don't inspire me. Something about the sound to think constructively. And they'll say, well, you listening to Frank Sinatra? That ain't black. No such thing as black sound. People call it that. You can call it that. You can say the sound has a core. It's just sound. And it's either music or noise, depending on how it affects you when you hear it.
It's either music or noise, depending on how it affects you when you hear it. I was kind of thrown by the Frank Sinatra. But I tell you, Mr. Bobby, being a creative person myself, I will say that sometimes your creativity comes from the strangest sources, and it's not something you have control over. You're either inspired, or you're not. You either get creative about it or you're not. But it's not something that we can always judge or determine in advance what's going to inspire us. We're going to do one more, and then we're going to get you back on here, Mr. Bobby. So this is talking about why Mr. Fuller wrote the book. I thought it was kind of amusing too. He was very, very blunt and frank about what caused him to write this book. And sometimes it's not as deep as people might think. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Question is, for Mr. Fuller, what inspired you to, write the book and then also to be a public speaker, starting, way back in the 70s and even until today? What inspires you to do this work?
All righty. Thank you, Jesse. Mr. Fuller?
Pain, Pain, the system of white supremacy, racism. That's what my book is about. Helping a person to not have to put up with this pain, Pain, mental and physical pain is what the system of white supremacy brings on. It's designed to do that. And I was caught up in it and still am. You're tired, creatures of all types, even alligators, do not like pain. Sitting in a dentist chair and you feel what? Pain, or you anticipate getting pain and you want to avoid getting pain. Or when the doctor says, I'm going to have to operate, one of the first things you think about is pain. So I was inspired by pain. The system of racism I found to be painful, not something that I'm supposed to enjoy.
He was like, Mr. Fuller said, look, I have a selfish motive for writing this book. I don't like being in pain, and racism and white supremacy is painful. I see a comment here from the chocolate box. He said, just wanting to weigh in on how much it said on how much of an impression Mr. Fuller has made on my life. And I thank you too for helping keep his message alive. Thank you, Chocolate Box. And we have so many comments. Now look, when the show is over, you can actually go back to YouTube and you can read all of the comments in the feed. You can replay the show. We'll be back if we don't get everybody in today. What we're going to do before we get out of here today, we're going to play. We're going to bring this all up to the present. We're actually going to, back in December 17th, 2024, Mr. Bobby and myself, we were working on the show as we normally do. Mr. Fuller had been out for an extended period of time. We were running reruns and rebroadcasts. And Mr. Fuller, I was in contact with Mr. Fuller's son and just kind of monitoring his health. And we were hoping that he'd come back on the air. People were writing letters and they were asking, where is Mr. Fuller? And some people thought they had seen him for the last time. But you don't know. You can be a young person, middle-aged person, old person. When your number is called, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. And sometimes you get these little warning signs that something may be amiss. But people spring back. People come back. So before we get to that, I'm going to get Mr. Bobby, any comments you have before we jump into that?
Yeah, before you jump into that, if I don't come back on the air right now, the word today is intentional. Be intentional about being bringing the truth about dismantling white supremacy. Be truthful about it. Be intentional. ProduceJustice.com. Go ahead, Gate.
Bill, let me give you your last word, because when we're going to play this last passage, which is going to be Mr. Fuller's final appearance on the Neely Fuller Counter-Racist Code Show. I thought it would be important to get his last. It was a monologue. Mr. Bobby would ask Mr. Fuller at the beginning of each show the thoughts and expressions of Neely Fuller Jr. And he would give a monologue, sometime 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. And on this particular day, he kind of saw what was coming. But Bill, let me get you before we get out of here. Bill?
Yes, quickly, I'd like to say that people always ask, what can we do? The code mostly is about thinking, speaking, and acting, but the act is mostly speech. As Mr. Bobby just said, be truthful. Mostly that involves being productive and doing things, but it's about talking and using the code as much as possible that you see fit, because we need to develop this as a mode of communication. Mr. Fuller used to talk about it. Once we get a critical number of people using code that they've actually theorized with and decide to use, we can soar. So I just want to say that, and it's about talking. Sometimes we say doing, but most of the doing that codified action is actually speaking to one another and to suspect white supremacists and white people.
Thank you, Bill, for those very powerful words today. And thanks for that call to action. What we're going to do now is we won't come back on after this. We're just going to let this play out. So these will be the last words you hear from us on this particular show today. We're going to play Mr. Fuller's final monologue on the Counter-Racist Code show from the December 17th, 2024. And, it's it can be a little difficult to listen to. So kind of get your tissues nearby, because he's speaking to us really for the final time. And so we thought we'd share this on this. We're not celebrating. Let me just drop that. Mr. Fuller said, do not celebrate me. It's about logic. It's about the message. It's about the books. It's about the material. It's not about celebrating not only him, but don't celebrate anybody. So we're not celebrating today, but we are remembering and honoring this great man who left these 3 books for us. And this is his final appearance on the Neely Fuller Counter-Racist Code show, which is broadcast on Blog Talk on December 17th, 2024. So hang on a second there. Let me get this up.
Say, good morning, Mr. Fuller, and how are you and how are you feeling?
Good morning. I'm still learning, and I am recuperating from illnesses, which I won't describe, but it's still bothering me some. And but I decided I had to get back on the air.
Okay.
So here I am.
Thank you, and I'm glad that you said that, because there were many that were inquiring about that, and I could only give them what I knew, which was nothing, just whatever management told me, and that was it. But you had many, many calls. As a matter of fact, I stayed online for about 2 hours just fielding calls, because people were greatly interested in what was going on. And being truthful, I just told them that I did not know, but, to hang on in there, and we'll see what's happening. So good to have you back on the air again. You were missed by many. Okay, it's been a couple of weeks. So, Mr. Fuller, we have a situation, or a little section that we call the Thoughts and Expressions on the Mind of Neely Fuller Jr. Mr. Fuller, being today as the 17th of December, 2024, what is on your mind that you would like to discuss with the audience?
We're going into a new year, 2025, and I would like to see it, starting right this minute, all of the people who are causing death. This is not the solution. and that should be clear to everybody by now. 2, settling whatever problems plague everybody throughout the entire planet. Just stacking up bodies, stacking up bodies, stacking up bodies. Everybody, well, hey, no more talking. Let's kill. Kill, 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 kill. Kill in the churches, kill in the church schools, kill everywhere. Just kill. I mean, you're dissatisfied with something, kill everybody, including yourself. Just kill. That's the solution to everything. I mean, this life is rotten. Well, why is it? You better believe it is. But why is it? It's all what they call, in a slang expression, man-made. So I want to talk about going into the next year, solutions. But that's the first thing. Or even if we don't stop it, just keep on talking about stop the killing, first of all, and then sooner or later somebody got to come to the table and sit down and talk anyway. Logic says that. And we should all have the intention of being in the business of producing justice, which means nothing but just help all the people who need help the most, and don't mistreat anybody in the process of doing so. But now there's so much evil. It's so overwhelming. It spills over right into church services and temple services and mosque services. Killing, 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 killing. Go over there and kill them. There's enough of them over there assemble. Body counts. That's what we love.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to have a lot more of that from what I see. But keep on keeping on anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get... If you do not understand white supremacy, what it is, and how it works, everything else that you do understand will confuse you. In all of these 9 areas of activity, economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. Anywhere on the planet, minute by minute, day by day, all of the time, all of the time, all